There's no use prolonging the inevitable. Let's do this. Hello everybody, my name is Lady Guru to you, and it was nice knowing you. In today's episode, Gur Power Station. We have a choice of a splat bomb, a burst bomb, or a curling bomb. Burst bomb's my favorite, so that's what we're going to be going with. Please defend the orb. If the orb is destroyed, you will fail. Shooting the orb will help it recover some health, so keep that in mind. I recommend taking the enemies down one by one before you pile up too much. This is a level everybody dreads when they play Octo expansion. This is widely regarded the most difficult level in Splatoon history. You're given free reign of whatever weapon you want. So, I'm a Slosher main, where are we going with this? When I was planning out this Let's Play, I was thinking about doing this level with every single weapon. I'm not that crazy. I need to stop recording these at some point, so no, we're not doing it with every single one of them. So, my word of advice, don't destroy the boxes. Whatever you do not destroy the boxes. Whatever you do, do not do that. I am hammering this into your head. Destroying the boxes is not a good idea. It gets you there faster, sir. Maybe. Don't do it. Not good at all. Destroy the Octolings as quickly as possible, and try to get their attention away from getting to the center, because what they're going to be doing is they're going to be trying to get to the center of the orb and trying to attack it and things like that. And they're going to gain up on you very quickly, so it's not going to be nice at all. My word of advice is to try to get to their spawn point quickly so that you can take them out without them being too dangerous or anything like that. Staying near the orb is also a really good strategy as well. And try to get rid of them before they have a chance to use their super weapons. We can already see that some of them are starting to get closer to the thing. And you have a Tenta Missile, so we're going to get that away from the orb. You cannot get your health back by shooting it, but it's not going to be worth it because it just doesn't do that much recovering. Come on, 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 First try! First try! First try on Gur Power Station! Oh my goodness! First try! Oh, it's such a beautiful sight! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I was dreading this the entire time planning out this Let's Play. We did it the first try! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, so I know it's only one level, but throughout the entire time planning out this Let's Play, I was always going to make it so that this level would be its own dedicated video. So I know it's a little short this time around, but that's where we're going to call quits for Octo expansion in this episode. So I'm going to meet you all in the imaginary land of alternate save file. Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to the imaginary land of alternate save file. In today's episode we're playing through Monta Maria on Rainmaker. And I love this stage so much. It's one of my favorites. I love this stage, it's one of my favorites. Alright, so enough fanboying over this awesome stage. Right now we'll be talking about the weapons, except not really, because I want to talk about the stage a little bit more. So This is pretty interesting because we've seen plenty of times throughout the Let's Play how the stages will actually change a little bit depending on what mode you're playing. And this is one of the best examples of that because the central column of Monte Maria, which is one of the biggest things that sets the stage apart from the other ones in this game, the central column is no longer there on Rainmaker. And also, I gotta say, I love Monte Maria and all, but wow, that was a really rough Rainmaker stage. There was a part of me that was kind of hoping when James and I were recording the footage for this that we'd redo this one because of how quickly that went, but there was really no use to it because the way the stage layout works, it makes it a bit hard to get to the Rainmaker base. But none of that matters right now because Monte Maria is still one of the best stages in the entire game. And now we're moving on to Sniper Canal in Splat Zones. Hopefully this one will last a little bit longer because like to actually get to the weapon stats this time around. So, the next weapons we're talking about, and the last one in the Slosher category, is the Explosher. And this weapon sucks. I'm not a big fan of this one. It's a bit weird and hard to control, and I'm not that big of a fan of it, so I do apologize for starting off on a bit of a negative note in terms of the weapons in this video. But, what we're talking about is the two weapons version. That was a very poorly constructed sentence. Normally if I stumble over my words like that, I just redo that take, but I'm just going to keep that in there because that was funny. So, yeah, the Explosher has two versions. There's a regular one, which comes with a sprinkler, and a bubble blower, which automatically makes it awesome because you get to use bubbles, but the bubble blower uses bubbles all the time, so that kind of cancels that out for the Explosher. Sorry. But this one's unlocked at level 18. And there's a custom Explosher, which comes with a point sensor and a baller unlocked at level 22. This weapon, and the reason why I'm not a big fan of it, is that this is a very slow weapon. Like, it takes a long time to get around with this one. But, to make up for that, it has a pretty long range, so it is pretty good in that department. And it will explode upon contact with solid surfaces, and you can still move around, and the weapon itself still moves around after hitting an enemy, so it can deal additional damage that way. Except for when you're playing in Salmon Run, because for whatever reason, these effects don't really work on the bosses in that mode, which is also a little bit weird. If I were to compare this to another weapon, then the closest example I could think of would probably be a Grisco Slosher. If you ever had the chance to play the rare Grisco weapons, I have a whole video already on that, you can check that out if you want. But if you want to compare it to that, the Grisco Slosher is probably the closest thing to the Explosher. But now let's move on to better and brighter things, because now we'll be talking about the Heavy Splatling. This weapon is okay. I'm not a big Splatling main, but I've seen some amazing things done with these weapons, so I have to give them credit for that. The Heavy Splatling. This one is a charger-based weapon, but it is probably the best one in the entire game. Snipers, yes, they're pretty cool, but this one is a machine gun. So, you charge up at the Heavy Splatling, and you are vulnerable for a moment, but once you let go of that weapon, oh baby, all the ink goes flying. This is the most basic version of a Heavy Splatling. There's a couple other ones we'll be talking about in the next couple episodes, but this is the most basic one, so it's great for beginners. And it's also pretty great because of that, because it is great for beginners. That was a very redundant sentence, but we're going to move onward because I like how my commentary is going. I don't feel like re-recording this video. There are 4 versions of the Heavy Splatling. There's the first one, which comes with a sprinkler and a stingray on up to level 8, and the Heavy Splatling Deco, which comes with a splash wall and a bubble blower on up to level 12. So many bubbles, so little time. I like bubbles. The next one is the Heavy Splatling Remix, which comes with a point sensor and a Booyah Bomb, unlocked at level 19, and the Hero Splatling Replica, which comes with a sprinkler and a stingray, unlocked at level 8. On the topic of Booyah Bombs, there is one thing that I will say. We're going to talk about this next weapon in the next episode, but there's a class weapon called the Hydra Splatling, and one of the versions of that weapon is pretty interesting because this is the only weapon in the entire game that can actually completely break and splat the armor of a Booyah Bomb. Booyah Bombs are usually very good at defense because it takes a lot of ink to destroy the shield. It's to the point where you're basically invincible while using it. But there's a version of a Hydra Splatling that can actually break it and splat somebody, although the timing of this is very difficult to pull off. The reason why I'm talking about this right now is because this is my video and I can do whatever I want. Just reading about the Hydro Bomb made me think about that. And this right here, I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite comebacks that I've ever made in a Splatoon video. Because it's always so intense whenever your opponent's timer is ticking down and they're just like 1 second away from victory. This is just proof that you should never give up on Splatoons, even if it looks like you're going to lose. Because you never know. It's very possible that you may end up getting that last second victory. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite comebacks that I've ever made in this video. Pretty fitting considering what happened earlier in this episode with Girl Power Station. But that's going to be it for this video for Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. So thank you all so much for watching this episode, and until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah. Okay, legitimately, why couldn't I have that much luck during the verses?